Hi everyone, today I'm going to tell you the way I do the voiceovers for the different tasks that I do in my classes. Sometimes I set homework and I don't feel like, recording my voice, and I want to have a more reliable standard voiceover, and I know that paying somebody else to do the voiceover is expensive, especially because it's a job, and it's they deserve getting the money that they get, and also because there's a common idea that computer text-to-speech voiceovers sound a little robotic, but there's been a lot of improvement recently, and one of the improvements come from Microsoft Edge. It has a new online feature in which you can select a text and you can have it read by the online text-to-speech voices, and they sound really natural. And this is what I've been using recently, and it's super simple. But if you bear with me, I will explain little by little how the way I do it in my classes. So the problem is that when you of course you have to select a text, and what happens, for example, if you have created a text of your own. Recently I had a class in which I was teaching my students some vocabulary regarding movie reviews in English. This was for my CAE C1 advanced class, and I wanted to the students to pay attention to certain vocabulary, especially recycle vocabulary from the lesson, and those things. But I wanted to make it a little more entertaining, and I know in my case I can play around with video editing tools, but you can do it as a listening activity. It doesn't have to be a video like the one I did, but this is the thing that I did. Okay, so first things first, you can go to this website, which is Telegraph. It's a telegraph.ph, and you can the good thing about this is that you can create a very easy website. You can publish it and it would be instantaneous. It's great because it's simple. So what I do is I type a title. My review is going to be about Memoirs of a Geisha. I mean, any title would do. Your name, I'll not put anything here. So here in your story, I copy the text that I created here. This is a text that I wrote myself, and I try to follow the structure and everything in the lesson, use the vocabulary, and what I do is just copy, then paste it here, and then I have to click on publish. Once it's published, you can access the text-to-speech software in Microsoft Edge. Basically what you do is select the text, and mine's in Spanish, but it says selección para leer en voz alta. So read it aloud.
Memoirs of a Geisha introduces outsiders to the unknown world that resided in Japan a little before World War II.
Well, in this case, for example, the woman read World War II as World War II. You can change the voice overs. I mean the machines. I recommend using the natural ones because those are the ones that sound as natural as as you heard. For English, you have Mia is the only one for United Kingdom, British English. I've used all of them. In English, I've used English India. I've used American English. You have two. Okay. So here, edit again. Sorry. So I just change it to World War II. So it reads World War II, and then you play it. Publish again, and then you play it again just to make sure that there's nothing weird. You can also play with the punctuation. If you want, for example, the voiceover to stop at a certain point or to make a pause. You can include commas, for example, for short pauses, or periods, full stops for long pauses. And you can play around. I know the text would look a little bit unnatural in terms of punctuation, but it's about the way the machine reads it. Okay, so I think this is enough. I will play it again.
Memoirs of a Geisha introduces outsiders to the unknown world that resided in Japan a little before World War II, the world of geishas, the wives of the night. It has the perfect amount of...
Okay, I think it works great. You can actually, if you listen, I love this one. I love the American one. I think it's Aria. So listen from this one.
Memoirs of a Geisha is a perfect example of a forbidden love story with a happy, yet sad, well-deserved ending. It also avoids becoming a cliché since geishas are not really heard of or talked about nowadays.
So, great. I mean, so far it's great. You can have Microsoft Edge read the text and it sounds very natural. You can use this as a listening activity. In my case, I created a video. But now, how do you get this into an MP3 that you can download, you can use or send to your students, or post on a website, or use it for other projects? And this is where Audacity comes in. So in Audacity, I have it opened here. If you don't know, Audacity is a free software that you can download for free, and you don't have to pay anything, and it's quite professional. I mean, it's very simple to use, but it's quite professional. My recommendation is that you go ahead and find online tutorials on how to use it, so you know the inner workings of Audacity. But I'm going to tell you the way I record whatever my computer is playing. I go here and select Windows Wasapi, and then in my preferred output, I select my speakers in loopback, this one. Okay, this will record everything the computer is playing. So I think, well, sometimes when I click on record here, it starts recording, but sometimes it doesn't. Well, anyway, we'll see. So I will click here. Oh, it started recording. Great. It's not recording my voice, as you can see. It's a flat line. But if you go back, for example, to here and begin again playing.
Memoirs of a Geisha introduces outsiders to the unknown world that resided in Japan a little before World War II, the world of geishas, the wives of the night. It has the perfect amount of romantic and dramatic scenes, as any successful romance or drama film should have, that keeps the audience wanting more. Memoirs of a...
Okay, we can stop it here. And then we can stop the recording here. So you go back. What I do is this. Backspace. I eliminate all the flat line and listen.
Memoirs of a Geisha introduces outsiders to the unknown world that resided in Japan a little before World War II, the world of geishas.
So you can hear that it's recorded. Now, what do you do with this? You go to File, Export as an MP3. Well, that's what I choose. I select here Exceptional, Fast. So basically what I do is I give it a name. For example, voiceover. Oh, this is from my podcast. Voiceover, then guardar or save, and then here you can put all the comments. Mine's in Spanish, but it's artist, name of the track, name of the album, number of the track, and things like that. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna save it, but you can have an idea of where you can get. So now you're done. I mean, this is as simple as this, and then you can use it for other projects. I mean, you can set it as a listening task. You can actually if you go back, you can actually set the speed, and you can have it for example, the machine, the text-to-speech software to read it in a slower voice. For example, let's try again.
Memoirs of a Geisha introduces outsiders to the unknown world that resided in Japan a little before World War II.
So it's, very slow. You can, set it to normal or faster. I mean, you can play around with the settings as much as you want. And this is basically how I do my voiceovers for the different listening activities. I mean, I know it's not as natural as a person. It doesn't have all the quirks and all the the nuances of a natural sounding voice. I know that a voiceover expert would do this a lot better. But I think this is for free. I mean, it's amazing that you can actually do something on your own without paying all that money. And sometimes teachers work on a budget, and we want to do something that sounds or looks professional enough. And let me show you just a little bit of what I did with this one of Memoirs of a Geisha. It's going to be just a short extract. Of course, I used, in my case, for example, I used the same trailer from the original trailer. I actually didn't change anything from the trailer. I just removed the sound of the trailer. As I added a music background. The music came from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and I added the voice track in a video editing software. So you can do this, and if you know how to do any video editing, you can go ahead and use the voice track as a voiceover. I think it works really well, and for online classes, it works perfect. I mean, when you have distance learning and you want to do a listening activity. Okay, so without further ado, this is a short extract of what I did with Memoirs of a Geisha. Thank you very much.
Memoirs of a Geisha introduces outsiders to the unknown world that resided in Japan a little before World War II, the world of geishas, the wives of the night. It has the perfect amount of romantic and dramatic scenes, as any successful romance or drama film should have, that keeps the audience wanting more.